Let's be fair, I've been at odds with the video game industry for quite some time. I don't appreciate their business practices or their view of the world. And, that may or may not just be on me, but I think a lot of people would agree. At the same time, there are a lot of people involved in the video game industry, especially at executive levels, who understand how the economy works and basically what terms like recession mean. That's right. And we're going to talk today about the CEO from Take-Two, who has some thoughts on the effects in the entertainment business, at least when it comes to a recession. Here we go. So the Take-Two CEO, at Take-Two Interactive that is, came out recently to talk about things in consumer industries, specifically entertainment. He was in the position to present this quote, which is the title of this article from The Hollywood Reporter. Take-Two Interactive CEO, I don't believe the entertainment business is recession-proof. Well, I would agree. It's not. In fact, I think all elements of entertainment are at risk right now because of the recession that we're in the midst of. And believe me, we'll get into some conversation around that at the end of the video. But from the article, as consumer spending in the mobile industry takes a hit of rising inflation, well, of course, the gaming giant swung to first quarter loss. Not great. Gaming company Take-Two Interactive has missed earnings expectations in its first report since its acquisition of mobile gaming company Zynga, which was supposed to be their hedge against inflation because it was thought that gamers, people that game, would switch to their phones and jump on those free-to-play games and then spend money that way. But despite higher revenue overall, Take-Two Interactive swung to a first quarter loss amid economic headwinds for the mobile industry. In the 3 months ended June 30, the company reported revenue of $1.1 billion compared to $813.3 million in the year earlier quarter. Take-Two swung to a first quarter loss of $104 million, or I guess that was a loss per share of 76 cents, compared to net income of $152.3 million. Essentially, that means EPS, or earnings per share, of $1.32 over last year. So it was a different time, I see. Wow, loss of 76 cents versus an earnings of $1.32. Good gracious. Both the revenue and per-share earnings lines came in well below Wall Street consensus forecasts. No kidding. Lots of things are going to come in underneath consensus forecasts. Y'all just look at Zacks and a few other sites when you're looking at upcoming quarterlies and find that even though they're revising down their expectations, a lot of these companies are coming in below that. Most of these companies are coming in below that, actually. Anyway, Take-Two reached an agreement to acquire the mobile gaming company, that would be Zynga again, in January 2022. The deal closed on May 23rd, meaning that Zynga was represented in 39 days of the quarter. Bookings reached $1 billion, a 41% increase compared to $711.4 million in the previous year's quarter. And this is a statement. We are seeing some softness in the mobile market. The good news is we're doing better than most. That's probably true. If not at all, I think we're seeing an offsetting increase in our market share. And that was from Strauss Zelnick, the chairman and CEO of Take-Two. That should be a wake-up for us, because I believe Take-Two is the gaming company that now has our favorites like Red Dead Redemption, GTA. Zelnick also argued Hollywood was not immune to a threatened recession. We're in a recession. Wake up! In fact, I'm going to go over that in just a second. As consumer spending took a hit from rising inflation. Over and over again, I've said I don't believe that the entertainment business is recession-proof or even necessarily recession-resistant. We're seeing now that a decline in consumer spending, an increase in inflation will have impact on the industry. You've seen it from our report today and from our competitors' reports as well. The top contributors for Take-Two is NBA 2K22. I don't know why anybody plays those games or buys the new ones. They're the same dang thing. Grand Theft Auto Online, another monetization scheme that rides on top of Grand Theft Auto 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2 with Red Dead Online. So pretty much everything that was created by another entity is what's essentially supporting Take-Two right now. So from the quotes, though, I'll jump forward. Our long-term vision is clearer than ever, and we believe that our combination of Zynga will enable us to capitalize better on the evolving dynamics of the interactive entertainment industry. In other words, they are going to rely on free-to-play games with their monetization schemes to help support their other monetization schemes, with their games as a service thing really starting to trot forward as well. Boy, do I hate this. We'll have to see where they end up. I have a feeling that a lot of these entities, these entertainment entities, even these gaming companies, are going to see some massive financial shortfalls over the course of the next year. I don't see us pulling out of this economic circumstance in a very, very long time. But we have some other information that really annoys me. We're going to add to this story by throwing up something that came from Variety. Now, Variety has been doing a series called The Media Business in a Bear Market. And while a lot of their data is great, their analysis behind it hasn't been. It's good to have numbers, but you have to be able to interpret the numbers. And at times I have a feeling that they interpret them in a way that supports an ideology. From their article that says economic data causes more uncertainty about the future. Of course, in this article, or this part of this series of articles, they're referencing the recent jobs report in July, which supposedly 528,000 jobs were created, which we all know is probably baloney sausage. But they are continuing to point towards another entity that nobody had heard anything about, that was started. One of the parties that helped start it was a socialist, unabashedly, many moons ago. It's the National Bureau of Economic Research. They are strategically trying to move the definition of the word recession to that entity. How and why, I don't know. It's not a governmental entity in any way. At least they acknowledge this in a sentence from this article, which is, the recession debate has now become a battle of semantics. It's true. And the mere anticipation of one has already shaken business and consumer sentiment. Persistent supply chain disruptions, soaring inflation, I guess is their word, and rising interest rates are just some of the major factors stifling growth across every sector, including media and tech. They're saying it's impossible to measure how this economic downturn will truly impact every individual company. The fact is, the challenges that lie ahead are very real for the time being. The media business is consumer facing, so its shifts in consumption habits are being very closely monitored. Well, for good reason. And there are some charts here, and you can go get this article for yourself on Variety's VIP platform if you so choose. But I'm very frustrated with the battle of the semantics here. It is incredibly annoying, and it leads a lot of people to basically dunk on, institutions that were supposed to be authoritative, right? And that had used the colloquially understood definition of inflation that all of us know to downward quarters of GDP, right? Two downturns in GDP. And instead of doing that, they're jumping on this partially socialist created metric. But hey, it's my opinion. But what do you think? I mean, do you think Take-Two is likely to get hit with this downturn even more so than they've already have been? Do you think that further corporate earnings are going to reveal just how much this downturn has affected the American economy? Because again, we're looking at it retroactively. These are things that have already happened. We look at these numbers, these quarterly numbers, they already existed, sometimes for many, many weeks before we even realize, because that's when they come out with their results. I have a solid feeling that we're going to continue to see a downturn in the entertainment stock side of things and other things as well. And I have no doubt that we're going to see a never-ending increase in prices tied to energy because of the way things are being managed. But again, that's a conversation for a different type of video. Like I said, at least they're acknowledging it. At least Variety kind of sort of acknowledged it. And as you can see, at least everybody can see that the emperor has no clothes when it comes to redefining terms. I mean, yeah, at this point, and I have to agree with a Fox article from recent that every time they try to redefine a word, they lose credibility because everybody knows what they're doing. And with that being said, just go ahead, provide that down there. If any comments you have, any questions you have, any statements you want to make, that's what that comment section is for. Of course, support other independent creators out there. They absolutely could use your support. Obviously, mainstream is going to be favored because it carries the message and everything that they do. So, of course, they're going to point you there and away from independent creators and people that like to take a different approach when they cover stories. So do support them. Hit the like button, share, subscribe to their channels. That like thing works. Comments are incredible for engagement, the whole nine. It really does help. Not just my channel, but anybody else that you truly enjoy. And with that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.